Well, as starts to the season go, so we've had a pretty good one. We're near the top of the Premier League table. We're scoring goals for fun. We've got a fantastic striker up front who just loves putting it in the back of the net. Only thing that could be a bit of an issue is that, remember how last season we struggled to get out of our group when there was only really one big super club in there in the form of Paris Saint-Germain? Yeah, this season we've got both Juventus and Borussia Dortmund. I mean, who are they? How you doing, guys, and welcome to episode 16 of Let's Go Villa on FM22. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, where we have got to play Juventus, and then we're going to be playing Brighton in the Premier League as well. If you are excited to see how we get on in both of those games, please do leave a like on the video for me and subscribe so you never miss any of the lovely Football Manager content from the channel, including the future FM23 content. I'm going to keep saying that until FM23 actually comes out. Since you were last with us, we have done very well. We have won almost all of the football in the Premier League and beyond as well. If I get rid of friendlies just to make it a little bit easier to see, it's been a great start to the season. We have dropped points in only 2 games, and they've only been draws. It's very reminiscent of the first season where we had that ridiculous run. This season, I do feel like we've earned it, though. And Tammy Abraham has scored in every league game other than the last 2. Yeah, the last 2. I was going to say last 3, but it's Copenhagen he didn't score against. Last 2 league games he didn't score in. Other than that, he scored in every single game, even if, well, did he score in the West Ham game, actually? Did he? I'm sure he did. Yes, he did. So, literally every single game. The only other game he hasn't scored in is the game against Wigan because he didn't play. So, every game he scored in bar 3, the man's been ridiculous. It has literally, I mean, I joked saying he's our Erling Haaland. No, he's actually looked like our Erling Haaland. In terms of the goal charts, Erling Haaland's on 15, Tammy's on 9. A couple of games ago, it was like 8 for Tammy and 7 for Erling. Like, Erling's just turned up in the last few games. I mean, it's on an 8.59. The man's ridiculous. But it's been ridiculous from Tammy, and I couldn't be happier about it. And we have had such a good start to the season, which includes a win against Borussia Dortmund in the first Champions League group game of the season. We then beat Copenhagen 1-0 as well. So, I do have to say, in the last few games, things have dried up goal-wise a little bit. We did battle Wigan and West Ham. The West Ham game is probably the highlight of the season so far, where we just ran riot on them. Go PARMA with 2, Sander Berge with 1, Emil Smith-Rowe with 2, Tammy with 1, and Lucas Digne with 1. We just absolutely battered them, and it was a glorious thing to see. But those last 4 games have been a bit of a struggle. Southampton, couldn't get past them. It was really difficult. We eventually scored, but then so did they. Copenhagen, we beat them, but we lost Pedro Gonçalves for up to 6 months. So we are without one of our best players at the moment, and it is a bit of a frustration. I think it's a broken ankle, I think. Something along those lines, or a broken foot. We then struggled to get past Everton, and then we got a draw against Arsenal. These were 2 very frustrating games because we should have been well in the way against Everton, and Arsenal we should have beat as well, considering in the 68th minute, Julian Weigl got sent off. But other than all of that, everything is looking rosy. In terms of transfers, I don't think we did anything else on deadline day. Let me just have a quick nose. No, I don't think we did. We did bring Sergio Rico in. I don't know whether that is something that had already happened by the second game of the season. Yes, it did actually happen on the day of. So, no, actually, no extra transfers other than a couple of freebies that we don't really care about. They're just players we brought in to sell on for a future profit. And I don't think we sold anyone. Well, we let those guys go on loan, but they don't count. Right, the most important thing for today is going to be the Champions League game against Juventus. Obviously, we've got off to a really good start, but actually, it's not been as good as we think because it's only been 2 1-0 wins, which is a concern for me because Tammy was scoring all of the goals. I mean, we'll show you it in his form. I mean, starting from the first game of the season against Liverpool, goal and assist, great start. Hat-trick and an assist, excellent. Goal. Missed that game because it was a friendly on international duty. Came out for Newcastle, 2 goals. Borussia Dortmund, 1 goal. Goal and assist against West Ham. Didn't play against Wigan because why would he? Scored against Southampton, scored against Copenhagen. Sorry, got an assist against Copenhagen, and then hasn't scored in the last 2 games. I think that means he's due a goal, but he might not be. You never know. I just really hope that he's not just scored all of his goals and now that's it. He's not going to do anything. I don't think that is the case. One thing that has been a bit of a frustration has been Emil Smith-Rowe. He looked really good when you look at his stats, but he's been a bit trash at times as well. Starting at the beginning of the season, played really well against Liverpool, not so well against Wolves, played okay against Liverpool in the next game. Wasn't good against Nottingham. Did really well in that friendly. Terrible against Newcastle, got subbed off. Had a decent 45 minutes against Borussia Dortmund. Was exceptional against West Ham United. 2 goals, 2 assists. Didn't play against Wigan. Gave him a bit of a rest. Southampton, average. Copenhagen, average. Everton, less than average. Arsenal, when he came on for the last 25 minutes, looked alright. He's a bit of an enigma at the moment. He's a good player. He's got good stats. He looks good. He's got good consistency. He's just not showing it at the moment. So I think he is going to be fine. He's just taking a little bit of time to settle in. But this is going to be the 11 we're going to be using against Juventus. And hopefully we can turn back into the 3-goal scoring team that we were in the first games of the season and not the one that we've been in the last 4. A couple of things we do need to mention. Paulo Fornals, Carrillo and Williams and Etienne Green all are unavailable because they're not registered. We do have Raspadori has just come back from an injury, I think, so that's why he's not in the squad. Pedro, as I mentioned, out for now up to 2 to 4 months. So do have a decision to make in January where do we bring in someone to cover that position, because at the moment we are a man down. Bjorkan has just got an injury as well. He's out for 2 weeks too. So this is going to be the 11. It's Martinez in goal, Cash, Todibo, Mings and Digne in defence. Aya, Ramsey and Vitinha in the midfield with Buendia, Smith Rowe and Abraham up front. Cole Palmer has had a little bit of a dip recently. He played well in the second game to last, actually. Didn't do too badly, but he hasn't been the best recently. So I'm going to have him just sit out this one, come on as a sub, and hopefully get him back in. Coutinho's on the bench purely because we want someone who's a bit more defensively sound against Juventus, and Vitinha fits that. Jacob Ramsey's in because of the injury to Gonçalves, but also because he's actually been in decent form. As you can see, he's done really, really well for us. He deserves a chance to show it as well. So let's get into the game and let's see whether we can make it 3 from 3 in the first 3 Champions League games. Let's go. If I'm being honest, I think Juventus are one of those teams that they are a big team and they are a difficult team to come up against. Like, they've got some very, very good players in that team, but actually, who is in that team that's world class? Yes, they've got Vlahovic, he is world class. They've got Chiesa in the team as well, he's world class. Wojciech Szczesny, I would not say is a world class central defender. A world class goalkeeper. Luis Felipe in the defence is all right, but I wouldn't say he's world class. They've got Calvin Phillips as a holding midfielder. He's a good midfielder, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Calvin Phillips is not good, but I don't know if he's world class. I mean, Buendia nearly putting it in the back of the net there. Our finishing recently has been a lot like that, especially from Tammy Abraham. Get into a good position, we have the opportunity, and we just put it wide. You see the squad there. And Adrian Bonucci, I mean, how old's Bonucci now? I mean, he's got to be like 37, 38, surely. As a wild tackle from Cuadrado there. It's a red card for Cuadrado, and we have a great opportunity here to try and get a result against Juventus. I was thinking going into this, it's going to be a very difficult game, but that will make things, in theory, a little easier. We're not going to go attacking just yet. We'll leave things as they are. And, oh my God, their goal is leading a charmed life at the moment. It crashes against the crossbar from Christopher Aya. Buendia's going to whip this in. He's going to look for Aya again, or Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham heads over as well. I want to see Tammy get a goal today. It's weird to say 2 games without a goal is concerning. It's really not. But with the way he started the season, it really is at the same time. I do sometimes read too much into things like that. I think he'll be absolutely fine. He's been superb for us so far. Todibo just bursting forward. Ramsey into Abraham. Abraham can't get it in. It's offside anyway. We're getting all of the chances at the moment, and that is the most important thing. I mean, we were dominating before the red card even happened, so we do look like a good team at the moment. And I thought that was Tammy, but it's Christopher Aya. I'll take a goal. We've got it. Aya, the vice-captain. I'll be honest with you. I see him as the captain at the moment because he feels like undroppable. I feel sorry for Sander Berge. We signed him in the first season and he looked absolutely solid for us. He looked great. And we've just overtaken him by putting Aya there. I do feel very sad for him. But we've got to do what we've got to do for the team. We can't just be sentimental. We have to do what is right. And we do lead at half-time by 1-0. And it's good, but I'd like to think we can get more. I would like to think we can get more. We are just going to tell Todibo to calm down. We don't want him to do anything silly. Smith Rowe's been okay so far. Vitinha hasn't had his best game. The defence haven't had their best game either, to be honest with you. We'll just say, keep going. And we'll just carry on. We're not going to make any changes at half-time. Carry on as we are, guys. Let's just do it. We know we can beat this lot. I mean, we're beating them already, but with a man down, it's going to make it really, really difficult for them. Dominguez has gone to defensive midfield. Calvin Phillips now gone to the centre. Chiesa keeps flicking between the middle and that right-hand side. They're trying to confuse us a little bit. We're not going to react to it. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing. And we've got a free kick. Digne in to Jacob Ramsey, who heads it just over. The substitute o'clock. Tadebo's probably had one of his first really not very good games. So Ezri Konsa's going to come on. And I think we're going to take Coutinho off as well. He's not had a good one. Coutinho can come on. And we do have a third change. I think we've only got the 3, haven't we? Yes, we do. I'm looking at Cole Palmer and I'm thinking him for Emi Buendia. And you know what? Let's just do it. I know what's going to happen now. Football Manager likes to give you an injury if you make all 3 substitutions at once. I'm waiting for it to happen. I'm waiting for it to happen. It happens almost, especially if you make your third change really early like we have as well. If you don't leave it until the last 15 minutes, usually the game punishes you. And Cole Palmer nearly gets a goal. Again, other than the second to last game, other than the second to last game, he's been in a bit of a funk. We are going to go attacking just because I want us to push. I want us to get at least 2 goals in this game. It's been a while. Right, Coutinho with a free kick. This has got to be a goal. This is the type of free kick that you score. And Felipe Coutinho, only his 2nd goal of the season, but score it he does. A thing of beauty from the Brazilian. He looks fantastic from set-piece positions. Very, very good at corners. Very, very good at free kicks. And this is one of those. I've said it before. Free kicks. Positions like that, free kicks are like penalties. And usually, if you get one like that, the conversion rate is like penalties as well. It is ridiculous. I don't know whether for FM23 they'll have tweaked that. Maybe they will, maybe they won't have. But when we're scoring them, I don't really care. It's a tackle. Cole Palmer throws his hands up in the air in frustration. He believes he should have a penalty. I was a little bit umming and ahhing as well. He did get the ball, the defender, but he also got the player as well. But Cole Palmer, he's having none of it. He's saying, no, my ball, I am going to go and get something. Cole Palmer gets in again. He's looking great off the bench at the moment. I mean, we know how good he can be. And Smith Rowe is there, and he heads it just wide, Smith Rowe. His end product has looked very, very shaky. Some games he's looked fantastic. Some games he's looked not so fantastic. But we know how good he can be, so I'm not too worried at the moment, if I'm honest with you. 2-0 against Juventus. Even Juventus down to 10 men is a fantastic result. I'm really happy with that. I'd have liked to have seen us score more from open play, but you know what? 2 goals against Juventus. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Team played well for the most part. Only a couple of shaky performances. Only concern is, 3rd game in a row, no goal for Tammy Abraham. Pep Guardiola is the manager. Who'd have thunk it? Couple of million in the bank for the win. Fantastic. We'll praise Digne because he did look really good, actually. He did look very good indeed. That was a good game. Very happy with that. Right, we're going to move on to the Brighton game in the Premier League, and we'll see whether we can continue our good start to the season. Oh, I've not shown you the Premier League table properly, have I? I've just thought. We're second. That's how well we're doing. We're 2nd in the league. Tammy's got 9 goals, as you saw briefly before. Cole Palmer is 2nd on the assist chart. Emi Martinez is 1st on the Golden Glove chart. I mean, I could have said clean sheet, but for some reason I had to go to Golden Glove. We're doing really well. That's the point that I'm getting at. Right, now we'll go to the Brighton game, and hopefully we'll get 3 points to keep up with Liverpool. See you in a minute. We are ready for the game against Brighton, and this is going to be the 11 we are going to be taking in to hopefully getting 3 points from the Amex Stadium. It's Martinez in goal, Cash, Konsa, Thiat, Digne in defence, Burge, Ramsey and Coutinho in the midfield with Palmer, Smith Rowe and Abraham up front. We have had a little knock to Alvaro Carrillo. I was going to be putting him on the bench for this game. I wanted to give him some football because he hasn't played a lot recently, so not able to do that, unfortunately. Max Owens, we are giving the rest to as well because Matty Cash has wanted a bit more football. He hasn't asked for any yet, but I've noticed that he says he's not satisfied when I've hovered over his little thing. If I do that, there you go. Concerned with his playing time. So I'm going to give him a bit more football. I have been playing Max Owens a lot, so we are going to be doing that. Also, we are having Fornals and Brandon Williams on the bench. We want to get them some football if we can as well. Brandon Williams might come on for the last 10 minutes or so. Paulo Fornals, he's a good player. I want to get him some game time. Kerr Smith, youngster, is on the bench as well. We'll try and get him some minutes if we can afford to as well. But let's get into the game and see if we can get 3 points and continue the really good start we've had in the Premier League. And hopefully get a goal for Tammy as well. Let's go. Maybe worth remembering that this is a Brighton team that still have Graham Potter in charge. That change in management had not happened before we started this save. It was not that long ago at all, actually, really, was it? So we do have to remember this is a Brighton team that still has a very, very good manager in charge. Tammy just losing the ball there. I'm a little bit concerned. Every game that goes on without Tammy getting a goal involvement is a concern to me. You watch, he's going to score from this move now, I've said that. I'm sure he'll be fine. I'm sure he'll be absolutely fine. Also, we're starting Sander Berge, because I was talking in the last game, I feel really sorry for him. So I thought, well, let's give him some football, shall we? Let's put him in the starting 11, give him some football, because he's never let us down. You watch, he'll get sent off now. I'm touching the table. Touch wood. He won't. actually do that, but it wouldn't surprise me. Tammy's got in there, and Tammy gets his goal, and I feel a little bit relieved. It feels ridiculous to say at the end of October that I'm relieved that he scored his 12th goal of the season, because that is a ridiculous number. But I am a little bit, because, you know, as time goes on, 3 games becomes 4 games, 4 games becomes 5. Does worry me a little bit, but it's all good. He's scored. He's got the win. Well, he's got the win. He's got the goal. Let's wait and see whether we get the win. But it's a 10th place Brighton team, so they are going to be somewhat of a challenge. That was a great effort from Madare. Very far out, though. I think the goalkeeper probably had it scouted all the way across. This is a decent Brighton team. They are mid-table. They are where you'd expect Brighton to be. They've not pushed on as we kind of expected they might in real life under Graham Potter. Obviously, we're not going to know now. Tammy was in there, went for the slide. Very lucky he didn't make connection with the goalkeeper there, because that could have been a bit of an issue. But it was a nice effort anyway. Thiac clears it nicely, gets it to Jacob Ramsey. I'm really happy we're getting this opportunity to have Jacob Ramsey get some football in the team. I'm also really happy that Emile Smith-Rowe has just scored. Looking like he might be starting to find his feet in consecutive matches, because he has been very up and down. The consecutive matches where he's been consistent have typically been when he's not been playing very well. So it's nice to see that we've managed to get him a couple of games. He did all right in the last game as well. Didn't do too badly. And that is a very nice goal, getting it past Sanchez. And it is 2-0 inside 10 minutes. I was worried because we weren't scoring more than 1 goal in a lot of the matches in those last 4. We scored 2 in the last game, albeit one of them was a penalty against a team with 10 men. We scored 2 in this one very early on. And it's away from home as well, so we need to be really, really happy with the performance already. Cash whips it in, he's looking for Tammy. Tammy's there, and Tammy heads it just wide, and it remains only 2-0. I'll take 2-0. I won't sniff at it. I'll be alright with it. But I know we have more than enough in us to get more than 2. And that is a terrible mistake from the defender. Smith-Rowe goes back to Digne, into Coutinho. Coutinho, again, in for Vitinha, because Vitinha, similarly to last season, he hasn't started well this year. Cole Palmer just puts it wide. Cole Palmer's Midas touch has faded a little bit, and I don't know whether it's because he's not on loan anymore. Maybe it's because he's kind of hit the point where he's like, okay, I've got what I wanted. Maybe we need to give him a... I mean, we can't do it right now because he's not long signed a contract. But, Sander Berge. Sander Berge repays the faith I've shown in him by putting it in the back of the net and makes it 3-0. Maybe when we got the opportunity to offer him a new contract, we offer him one with something for England caps, because he hasn't made his debut for England yet. Not even close, I don't think. So let's maybe put that in there and see if that gives him the desire to push on a little bit. Not that he's been playing badly, he hasn't. Just his numbers are not the same as they were last season. But his numbers for the last 2 seasons have been utterly ridiculous. And how that's not a penalty. Emile Smith-Rowe was just bowled over there. How that is not considered a penalty from the referee, I do not know. But Smith-Rowe might be getting the last laugh here. Comes in. Wow! Emile Smith-Rowe! Take an absolute bow there. He's just completely done the defender at the near post and somehow put it in. That's what I wanted to see from the lad. Right, Konsa gets it to Jacob Ramsey. Jacob Ramsey finds Emile Smith-Rowe. And I think he's gone way too wide here. The defender's going to get him out. And he just manages to just go around the defender, keep the ball, and put it in the back of the net. And that is a thing of beauty from the Englishman. That is what I wanted to see from him. I mean, that's actually more than I wanted to see from him. That was exceptional. And Emile Smith-Rowe's on the ball again here. And he is finally starting to turn up. And he might be looking for an assist here. Well, no, he goes to Digne instead. Goes back to Smith-Rowe, though. Smith-Rowe goes to Jacob Ramsey. And he returns the favour for the last goal. And Jacob Ramsey gets his 4th of the season. He's in great form as well, filling in for Pedro Gonçalves. And we hit 5 in just over half an hour. My concerns were very premature because we are looking like the team we were in those first few games before we hit that run of 4 games without scoring more than 1. And that is superb. Absolutely superb from Jacob Ramsey. Emile Smith-Rowe as well, doing the business too. It's been a good day so far. It's been a very good day. And as it stands, Liverpool haven't played yet, but we do go top of the table by 2 points, putting the pressure on them. It's ridiculous to say that. It's utterly ridiculous. We are just going to tell Tammy to calm... I keep wanting to say Cammy. We're going to tell Tammy to calm down here because we don't want him getting sent off. That would be utterly ridiculous. Right, ball's whipped in. Abraham doesn't get on the end of it. Nelson heads it back to Sanchez, who has had an appalling day so far. What I like is that we have got the opportunity to bring some of those players on we were talking about. Kerr, Fornals, Williams. We can get them some minutes under their belt today without really having to worry too much. I would like a clean sheet, I've got to be honest with you, and I feel like I've just jinxed it. Adam Lallana's in here. Adam Lallana, I thought was going to bury it as soon as I've mentioned the words clean sheet. That would be the way, wouldn't it? That would absolutely be the way. Coutinho is the only player in the team who's not got a 7. I mean, that might change in this move now I've said that because I keep jinxing stuff. Right, Smith Rowe, looking to get to Tammy. Tammy, looking for options, goes to Sander Berge. Is Sander Berge going to hit a pile driver? He did, you know, and it wasn't far away. It remains only 5-0. I mean, we've got an XG of 1.9. We've been pretty exceptional when it comes to our XG and stuff like that. Right, I think Paulo Fornals is going to get a decent amount of football because I think I'm going to be bringing Coutinho off in a minute just because, in the nicest possible way, he's the only player who hasn't really shown up today. He's the only one who hasn't shown me anything. Right, Digne gets it into Tammy, and Tammy's got to get a second here. It's surely going to be 6. Tammy. It's literally the opposite of what he was like in the first few games. He was hitting everything at the keeper. And now, he scored today. Don't get me wrong, he has scored today. But, Tammy, we had meant to have a word about that. Right, Fornals is going to come on. We're going to bring Brandon Williams on as well. He can come on for Lucas Digne. We're going to give him a bit of a rest because, of course, he's got no backup goalkeeper for backup goalkeeper. Goodness me, Stu. He's got no backup left back for the next few games. So we'll give him a bit of a rest where we can. Kerr Smith will bring on in a little bit as well, and I think we'll rest. I mean, Jacob Ramsey's only scored the one, so we could take him off. We've got no one really to bring him on for. We could put Emil Smith Rowe there and bring Buendia on, or Raspadori. We're going to bring Raspadori on, actually. Raspadori should get some football. Right, we'll make those changes for now. We've still got a couple more to come in about 10 minutes' time in game. I feel like that works. Smith Rowe can play in that position really, really well. And we'll wait until the 77th, 78th minute, I think. There we go. We'll do it now. And let's bring the final 2 changes on. Kerr Smith is going to be one of them. We'll bring him on for Ezri Konsa. Give Konsa a bit of a break. Give Kerr Smith some football. And then for my final trick, let's look at the tired boys. So we've got Tammy, Cole, and Emil who are tired. I think we're going to bring Tammy Abraham off. We'll bring Ollie Watkins on. Tammy's race is won. He's looked better today, but again, some of his shots have been a little bit wayward. I mean, we've not scored at all in the second half. All of our work was done just over the first half an hour. I'm going to praise the boys because they deserve praise, absolutely. I mean, we've let Brighton have a few chances in this half, but not that many. And we've still looked really, really good. Just some of our chances have been just, we've not been taking them quite as much as we should be. Right, Martinez is going to get on the end of that. And let's see whether we can get 1 goal in the second half. Let's see if we can do that, shall we? Right, Sander Berge to Thiat, who's looked really solid since he's come in. Similar to Todibo, he's just looked solid when he's been used. We know all about him from the Parma save. It's a sentimental signing, I'm not going to lie. And we got him for a bargain this season compared to what he was going to be. Right, Watkins is in. Going to try and get it into the goalkeeper, but he ends up passing it to the goalkeeper, really, which is a bit concerning. I would have liked to have seen more a bit from Ollie there. And I think that's the game. That'll do. 5 goals in the first half. Job done. Job done. And as it stands, we are top of the Premier League. Liverpool will, of course, be playing very, very soon. And I imagine whoever they play, they did say in a press conference, I completely did not look at it whatsoever. Liverpool are going to be playing. Are they playing today? They're not playing today. Still playing tomorrow, maybe. Yeah, they're playing Manchester United. So we could end today top of the table if that result goes our way. We're not going to check in on it. That'll be a surprise for the next video. Williams has made his debut for the club. It's all going very, very well. Lone player stuff, we don't really care about them. We do care about Emil Smith Rowe, though, because he got an 8.9 rating. Couldn't quite get the hat-trick, but I'll take that. Considering how he was playing, I will absolutely take that. Again, just quickly nosing at his form. 3 games in a row where he's hit over a 7. First time he's done that all season, and I will absolutely take that. That is a thing of beauty. Okie dokie, we'll do what we did at this point last season. We'll come back for the final Champions League group stage, this time against Borussia Dortmund. In fact, you know what? We'll come back for both of them. We'll come back for Copenhagen, and we'll come back against Borussia Dortmund as well, because you'll get to see all 3 teams in the group stage then as well. So, we'll do that. Sorry, bit of a hiccup then while I was talking. But we'll do that. So, first you'll see Copenhagen, then you'll see Borussia Dortmund, and we'll see where we are in the league as well. That feels like the plan to me. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, as always, please do leave a like on the video and subscribe so you never miss any of the FM content coming out on the channel, including, again, I know I keep saying it, the future Football Manager 2023 content that will be to come. I've been Stubo, you guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.